One is a grown man with an encyclopedic knowledge of cinema. The other, a man-child raised by the more questionable corners of the internet. What happens when they each dive into something the other one loves? Find out on
The Man with No Brain.
Forgot this is our 20th episode, so
Yeah, big 2-0.
it's catching up to you, Joe.
Oh, yeah. No, once we hit 26, I'll peacefully die.
Pretty soon this podcast is going to be more mature than you are.
Well, yeah, because whenever your podcast hits your real birthday, like, kind of year, like, basically you curl up, you shrivel up like a flower and die like Beauty and the Beast, like that rose the Beast had.
Yeah, you never smelled like a flower, Joe. Maybe that Durin fruit, but no flower.
How about cannabis leaf?
No, even though that's
you're
stinky.
You're not even smoking anymore, are you?
A tiny bit, sure.
Well, how often do you smoke?
Maybe once a month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, is smoking your only cannabis intake, or are you saying, "Oh, I only smoke once a month, but I'm eating edibles every other day"?
No, edibles don't work on me. I am edible immune, so I stopped taking those. I gave them to my brother.
You're not edible immune.
I absolutely am. Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
I took 4 of them.
I understand. Maybe you should look into the science of it all, and maybe there's something about the edibles. Maybe the dosage you're taking is like next to nothing.
Well, it's 5 milligrams of gummies. I took 20 milligrams of THC, and it did nothing.
Yeah, well, what do you get out of, like, I don't know, smoking a bong? Because I don't know shit about pot.
I mean, normally it's much less than that, because the edibles are basically like THC, like, to the max. Hell yeah.
Is that what it says on the package? Is there a kid with sunglasses on and a skateboard like those old Capri Suns?
Yeah,
to the
there's
max.
THC. Yeah, to the zoom, bro. Blah, blah, blah.
Well, Ryan, we're rolling, so why don't you? It's big number 20.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Hey, welcome to The Man with No Brain, episode number 20. We're the big 2-0. My name is Ryan Matthew Ziegler, and as always, I am joined by the man with no brain himself, the man that the Electoral College actually has voted most likely to eat his own hair at some point tonight, Mr. Joseph Robert Buckley. How you doing, Joe?
Okay, well, first of all, before we even get into the podcast, I will not be eating my hair, and if I do eat my hair, the people on the mic will not hear it, because eating hair does not make sound. No, that's Tyler. That sounds like a mouse.
It absolutely makes sounds. It may not crunch, but we will still be able to hear you chew. I'll still be able to hear your throat force that hair down.
But I may have a Slim Jim in my pocket, and I might break it out.
I'm sure you have a Slim Jim in your pocket.
No, and second of all, my penis is at least 3.3 inches. At least. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't call that a Slim Jim. I call that a fancy hog.
Okay. Well, that's the kind of comedic stylings you can expect on this episode. We went all out on episode 20. Yeah. Joe's bringing his A game.
What? I'm supposed to prepare little bits? I'm supposed to write down little bits on a piece of paper like, mention Fargo in minute 12. Yeah, right. Right.
Joe, you are struggling today, buddy.
No, am I?
Yeah. Could you ask me Fargo minute 12?
Why did you choose Fargo, Joe? Because you've referenced Fargo a little bit lately on the various different podcasts.
I couldn't tell you.
Are you revisiting it, or are you watching the show?
No, because I'm not like a TV guy. I don't really like long things.
You love Twin Peaks.
I love Twin Peaks, but that's a movie. That's a long movie. I don't like long shows. Is my issue.
Okay, I'm not even going to open that can.
Well, he just doesn't like anything that commands his attention for more than 5 seconds.
Yeah. No. I pay so much attention. I pay so much attention.
Sniffing magic cards. He'll sit there and sniff magic cards that he got off some dude down at the corner all week long. But watch some long form television that isn't created by David Lynch. God forbid.
Oh, well, no, I actually got some news. A fan is actually P.O. boxing me some magic cards. So, yeah, thank you very much.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, God knows you need them.
Yeah.
Because you're running low there.
No, I do need them. He said it's like mostly just like commons, uncommons, but I'm going to take a look and see what's in there.
All right, well, I'm waiting with bated breath. Make sure you hit me up and let me know what commons and non-commons and glue hands.
Ryan, I can tell whenever you're being sarcastic, and I'm pretty sure right now at this moment, you're being sarcastic a little bit.
Maybe so.
Okay.
But you might not be able to tell when I'm lying or not. And that's kind of the focus.
Good segue.
Yeah, it's almost like I did this professionally at one point. But yeah, that's kind of the focus on the episode today. We are going to be playing a game of two truths and a lie. So we're going to do some storytelling, some short anecdotes, Joe and I. And two of these stories were going to be absolutely true, and one will be a lie. And then we're going to have to guess which one is the lie, basically.
Oh, yeah, I'm a master fibber.
Yeah, we used to do this all the time on our radio show as a way to give out tickets. We do like come up with a couple of goofy facts and then make up something for one of the artists if we're giving out tickets on the air.
If you want to see the Flumpty Humpties, make sure to call in and see if I'm lying about my M&Ms.
The Flumpty Humpties. Oh,
Joe,
God, I cannot wait.
It doesn't help your jokes when you use a bunch of confusing words.
No, that's a band, I bet. I bet someone out there is called the Flumpty Humpties.
You want to see Flumpty Humpties? Count my M&Ms. Tune in.
I listen.
Wine and brine.
I listen to Ryan and Sean on the radio, and that is somewhat accurate to what was done. Oh, yeah, 3 truths and a fib.
2 truths and a lie, you jackass.
Okay.
2 truths and a lie, Joe Buckley. And because this is the man with no brain and, making you the titular
the titular
person.
tit.
Emphasis on tit.
Say emphasis again. Oh, fuck, I fucked that up too.
yeah, say it's a hard word.
Whatever.
Emphasis.
It is not. Yeah, there's certain words that are hard to say.
Yeah.
Emphasis, I guess, is one I have to stop for a second and see the word in my mind. Another one is peculiar. And I still cannot say that word very good. Peculiar.
Yeah, it's
I have
tough.
to stop and think about it.
Peculiar.
Yeah, in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, they have that whole scene where they're making fun of the fact that the guy said that word, and all the actors keep saying it. And I was like, man, I couldn't do that.
It would be tough. No, I just want to yell. I want my cigarettes, Nurse Ratchet. I don't want your cigarettes, Mac. I want my cigarettes.
I stand by that. You can make if you make as many One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest references as you want, Joe. I love that movie.
Okay, good. I'll keep them in the back pocket, maybe.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to do 2 truths and a lie. Joe, you go first. I'm ready. I'm ready to hear your first story.
Okay. So I've told before on this podcast that I used to be a Boy Scout, and whenever you're in the Boy Scouts, there's a big emphasis kind of placed on checking for ticks whenever you're camping.
Mm-hmm.
So I had just got done with like a big week-long camping trip, and the guy came home and everything was fine. I was feeling fine. But then I saw like a big like bite mark like on my groin, right?
Where at when you mean on your groin?
Kind of like on the fat upper area, not the pee-pee.
Well, isn't it mostly fat upper area?
Yeah.
I suppose nowadays it is, sure.
So below your belly button, but above your worthless wiener.
Okay, I'm not going to even get into it. So I had to...
Well, hold on a second, Joe. Is it worthless now because you got Lyme's disease in your penis?
No, absolutely not. No. My penis stands straight up. I still got the blood pumping there.
You might have rigor mortis.
It goes down and then it stands back up whenever I get aroused. For your information.
Yeah, but... Are you
the tick laid eggs in there, and the only reason he ever looks like he's got a boner is because there's egg sacs growing in it.
It's every cycle when they're born. Mm-hmm. And is it usually when you see a dead deer on the side of the road, you see that sweet, delicious deer blood just laying there?
No, that's not it. No, it's whenever, for your information, it's whenever I see maybe a cute goth girl take her panties off. That's whenever I get aroused, sir.
All right, sidebar real quick. Joe, are you paying for OnlyFans?
I've actually thought about it. That's not bad. Because there's like private cum shows, which sound interesting.
I don't know what the fuck that is. Sidebar over. Back to the story.
Okay.
Oh God.
Yeah.
All right. So you had a tick on your in your groin.
Yeah, I don't know how it got there. That's one nasty, dirty tick.
And so you saw it. Was it already dug in? Like its head was in?
No, it was completely gone. I just had the spot. At some point, I guess the tick fell off me.
Well, how did you know it was definitely a tick spot? Because I have had ticks on my legs before when I've gone hiking.
Yeah.
And the only reason I knew I had ticks is because there was a tick. I didn't, just assume a welt or something was a tick. So I don't really know. Like, how did you know that was a tick spot?
I'll tell you. So I had to show my mom my groin, and then she took me to the doctor, and then I had to show him my groin, and then it turned out I got Lyme disease.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were diagnosed with Lyme disease?
Oh, yeah. Yep. So,
Okay.
yeah, the lime made me really sleepy. At one point, I slept for like 2 days throughout, like just straight through it.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they also gave me some bad headaches.
And what was the course of action after you were diagnosed with the Lyme disease?
You just wait it out.
How old were you? You say Boy Scouts. How old were you then?
I think I was probably around 10 or 11.
So this has been like 15 years ago then.
Oh yeah,
roughly.
yeah. It was a
Okay.
long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the story?
Yeah, that's
Is that the whole thing?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, I've got my ideas. I'm keeping my back pocket. We're obviously not going to say which is which until we get there. All right. Here's my first story.
Okay.
All right. Let me think here how I want to preface this. Okay, so I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, probably actually more than that, maybe. Sean and I, we had a big apartment in Chicago. It was like a 2-floor apartment, real nice. And we would have parties fairly often.
Oh, yeah.
Every couple of weeks. We had big parties. Or so people that were from the Illinois Valley that were living up in Chicago would come in. People would drive up.
Swinger
And
parties.
we'd have, big, music and playing everything. And we, one year we had a birthday party for a couple of people that were living in the house and friends and everything. And so, it was full. I mean, we have 30, 40 people in this 2-floor apartment. And a lot of drinking, a lot of inebriation going on. And there was one person at the party that even when they weren't drunk, they would tend to do crazy things if it knew they were going to get attention.
Oh, you mean like a Joe Buckley of the group?
Kind of like a Joe Buckley. Yeah, Joe Buckley before Joe Buckley in certain respects.
Okay.
And this person was incredibly drunk. And one thing that apartment had that was unfortunate was we had a cockroach infestation. Not to the point not like in Creepshow, not at that level, but we had these little, they were tiny. You would find these little tiny baby cockroaches, sometimes in the cupboard, sometimes down in the basement floor. And
got bugs, Mr. Pratt.
And during this party, I took it upon myself to take one or maybe even two of these dead cockroaches out of the cupboard. And I put them, we had, snacks, and we had some salsa, and I put them in the salsa. And I mixed, the bugs in the salsa. And then I called over this friend that was, willing to do anything for a bit, who was also very inebriated. And I was drunk as well. I think everybody was. And I said, hey, you know what? I bet you can't chug that salsa. I bet you couldn't drink that whole salsa in one swoop, sir. And he took on the challenge and picked up the salsa with the cockroaches inside it. He did not know that they were in there, and began, in fact, to chug and chew down the salsa. At one point, he stopped halfway through because he said, oh, there's chunky bits.
So you made your friend eat dead bugs.
So this friend finished off the bowl of salsa. We all cheered and laughed. We all knew also that there were cockroaches in it. He was the only person that didn't. And we ended up, telling him later on that, yes, indeed, there were cockroaches in the salsa. And he was understandably a little angry, but eventually, in the spirit of the comedy and the fun, he was okay with it. So.
This is worse than Creepshow. I think this is more horrifying than Creepshow. If there was just like some kind of like ne'er-do-well feeding cockroaches to people who were unaware.
Well, maybe so.
Yeah. He's just
it's
just picture like Ryan like sneaking into people's houses and just putting cockroaches like in like their food, like in their ice cream or whatever, and then sneaking back out. That'd be a good segment.
I mean, that would be a lot of effort. And for what? What would
just a laugh? Yeah.
But if I didn't, I didn't see them eat the cockroach, so I wouldn't know if they ate the cockroach.
Well, you know what's happening. You know what's going down. You know that I can't keep my hands off a bowl of chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream. Cockroach or no?
That's one storyline. That's one storyline of my life we could go. Me sneaking into houses and putting bugs in food. Yes.
Okay.
All right, here we go, Joe. What's your next story?
All right. So sometime last year, me and Tad went to the park to play on the equipment.
Wait, when was this again?
Sometime last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Whoa, what? Hold on a second. God damn.
Yeah.
How old's Tad?
He's about the same age as me, a bit older. So we're 25-year-olds.
So you're mid-20s.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there was this really cool like spinning circle thing in the park, and you can just run on it. And it keeps like moving with you, and you can just run on it until you get dizzy and fall off it.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also like a big tire on chains that we were swinging on at the same time until we almost tipped it upside down.
What?
Yeah.
Say
There's
that
like
again.
there's
I'm trying to picture this.
yeah. There's like a big tire suspended on like 2 chains.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like you can
Like a tire
swing on
swing.
it. Yeah. You can swing on it until basically it almost breaks and tips you off of it.
Okay, because you're this. Oh, okay, I see. All right. Yep.
And then Tad thought it would be funny to try to sit in the toddler swing. And then he managed to kind of just like jam his ass in it. And we had to tip him upside down to get him out.
So what do you mean we? So there was more than just you and
No,
Tad?
just me and Tad. Tad had to lean backwards and I had to tip him.
Oh, God damn
The
it.
proverbial we.
Yeah, the royal we.
What time of day was this?
This is kind of mid-afternoon, evening.
So I'm picturing in my mind, here we are. Was there anybody else at the park?
Well, it was mostly empty for some of it. But
Which
then,
park?
I'm not sure.
Well, what town was it
Joe
in?
doesn't
Over
know
in
in
Ottawa.
parks.
Okay. Okay. Was it? Do you know what side of town it was on?
No.
Okay, go on.
So there were a couple mothers there looking at us like we shouldn't be there.
Okay, hold on a second. Start again. What time of day was this?
Afternoon.
Afternoon. Okay. And you two grown adults went to hey, I'm not saying that adults can't have fun. You know, you go on a nice date with a girl and you go to the swing set. You know, hey, that's fun. But do it at night when the kids
Yeah.
aren't there and the moms aren't there with the strollers.
Well, we were pretty much able to get our pick of the playground equipment. We're bigger than them.
Well, what made you want to go there in the first place?
I thought we thought it would just be cool to kind of get some air. You know, we
Or did one of you want to test out your new phrase? Registered sex offender here.
no. That was actually the point because there were 2 of us there, so we couldn't be sex pests.
But I want to know, okay, so what were you and your cousin doing before you decided to go to, I mean, was that, before I go into it, was that the whole story? Tad shoved his ass into the little seat?
Yeah, pretty much. That
Is there
was
any more to
that
it?
was the climax of the narrative. Yes.
God, this is
Yeah, somebody
Fucking-
climaxed.
terrible story. So uneventful. But anyway, I want to know, so what was going on before the choice was made to go to the park?
We
What
were
were you guys
just
doing?
we were kind of hanging at the house and highin'.
Hanging at the house and highin'.
Yeah,
We were
So you're
hanging
smoking
high.
weed.
maybe a little weed.
Okay. All right. So you're smoking weed and you're acting silly and you're talking about bullshit and you decide, you know, which one of you just made the choice that it would be funny at that point to go to the park?
I think I might have brought up like, hey, wouldn't it be really cool if we were at the park and on the swings and stuff?
But
And
what,
Tad agreed.
Oh yeah.
but
That was a good idea.
What do you mean? Wouldn't it be cool? Did you literally just want to go have a good time?
Well, it's also like ironic because we're 25 and in the park.
No, stop that. You
But
always
you're by
try.
yourself. So any
Yeah,
irony
yeah.
is
It was
not
it was
going to
a
be.
joke for the 2 of us.
I mean, if you just said we got high, we did something stupid, I would have dropped it. But you'd be like, we put on our fedoras and tried to be ironic.
Yeah.
So you go to the park.
Yes.
And initially the idea was we were just going to swing. It's going to have fun swinging because we're a couple of mid-20 guys and it's weird for us to go on playground equipment made for kids.
Yeah.
And then that turned into, hey, maybe it'd be funny if you, Tad, who's too big for the seat,
Yeah.
forced himself into the seat.
Yeah, and then we can maybe get like a cool picture or something. That'd be funny.
Okay,
Did you
what
take a
was that
picture?
the intent?
Kind of. Yeah.
All
Okay.
right. And did you take a photo?
No. He was stuck. He got stuck too fast.
Was he panicking?
We weren't really panicking, but we knew it wouldn't be a good photo. His ass was mostly out.
Well, I mean,
that sounds like
but
a
that's
great photo.
I go, yeah, that's the point. It was a silly, stupid thing. And the more awkward and dumb it looks in the seat, the better the photo would be.
Yeah.
Think of all the Reddit love you could have gotten.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
It would have been beautiful.
You could have.
So how did he end up getting out of the seat if he was stuck?
He tipped backwards, and I kind of helped with that. I kind of pushed on his bottom.
Yeah, you pushed. You saw the exposed bottom, and you went right for
Yeah.
it.
Absolutely. I did not go reaching in fistful first.
Fistful first.
Did at any point in this, did Tad have to tell you not to use your face?
Absolutely. What? I'm not going to go motorboating those sweet cheeks. He's my cousin, damn it.
All right. Well, that's a great tale.
Yeah. I am not just going to be plucking ass hairs out of my teeth from diving in to Tad Sweet Muff.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
saying
so
something that's
just-
not happening.
muff.
Yeah.
And I imagine since you walked there, it was nice weather out.
Yeah, decent.
What was the season? What was the season?
I think maybe like a nice like autumn.
So it was more. So there's reason to believe that there was some sweat.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. I can neither confirm or deny.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving on. Let's see. Which story? Okay. So this is going back even further, man. This is going back maybe 15 years ago. Oh, probably longer than that. 15, 16 years ago, maybe. A girl I was dating at the time, she lived in Iowa. And there was, and I might have mentioned this on previous episodes, that I went to a festival in her grandmother's hometown, which was like it was deep into Iowa, almost on the other side of the state from Illinois. And
Long drive.
Yeah, and we went to this festival, very small town, and we got bored, and we decided to drive around and kind of explore, the back roads in the countryside. And at one point, we found this barn. It was kind of out in the middle of nowhere. There wasn't like a house nearby. Like, sometimes a barn is connected to a farmhouse, etc. This barn was completely by itself. There were no signs. There were no fences, nothing saying no trespassing. We were like, hey, I kind of like seeing old broken down structures and seeing, that sort of stuff. I kind of old school Americana. So I was like, let's pull over and investigate this barn. It was pretty, out
like
in the field.
Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, I was out in the field. I don't know how many feet. So we get out and we walk there. We walk all the way to the barn, and we're kind of just looking around. Nothing. It was really nothing special, but after a few minutes of doing this, off in the distance, we saw two guys, and it looked like they were both carrying walking sticks. They had these really long objects. They were pretty far away. And we didn't really think a whole lot of it. And we're still talking and goofing around and looking in this barn. And the guys get closer, and I realize they're headed for us. And I thought, well, we probably is not a good idea for us to run. Also, because as they got closer, I realized those were rifles that they were carrying.
Yeah.
And so they got up to us, and immediately I'm like, okay, well, we're out in the middle of nowhere, deep in Iowa. A couple of good old boys have come up to us. Yeah, they look like the family Pumpkinhead.
I want to see your teeth.
And they're holding guns. And I said, hey, fellas, how you doing? Hunting season? And the one guy said, no, we're not hunting. I was like, oh, boy.
We're not hunting yet.
Yeah, so at that point, I realized, okay, these guys either saw us or are just wandering around in this field with guns. So immediately I'm thinking to myself, okay, what kind of situation is this? And the one guy says, hey, what are you guys doing? Where are you from? And immediately I start spinning my wheels and I start talking real fast. I'm like, well, actually, have you heard of the History Channel? And I made up some bullshit like History Channel, Barns of the USA, or I made up some stupid thing. And they said, no, we never heard of that. And of course, because it wasn't real. No, and I said, well, actually, we're out here. I'm part of the correspondence. We're coming from Illinois, and we drive around. We look for these barns. We take pictures of them, and I'm glad we ran into you. Do you know who owns this barn? Because we'd like to contact them because we'd like to interview them. I'm trying to make this thing sound legit and as non-nervous as possible with these two dudes holding guns. And they're like, no, we don't know who owns this. And I said, oh, that's unfortunate. Well, I said, can I get your guys' name or a contact info so I can reach out to you guys in case I was trying to make it legitimate. I was trying to, get their names. No, we're not comfortable doing that, And I said, all right. Well, and I looked at my girlfriend. I said, I think we got everything we need here, fellas. Is there any other places, any other barns around here we can go to? I was trying to make it. No, we got nothing. We don't know. I said, all right, well, great talking to you. And we just sort of casually wandered back up to the road to her car. And I was like, Jesus Christ, man. That's straight out of like Deliverance, two hillbilly boys showing up with guns.
Now, what do you think they were doing?
I think they saw us. I think maybe there was a house farther over and saw us, two people, and decided to wander over with guns. I honestly feel that they didn't come upon us. I think it was intentional.
Yeah. I think they were looking to make a new human scarecrow.
Well,
to protect the barn.
Either way, man, my gums were flapping. I was bullshitting like I was tap dancing. all over the place. That's a great thing about training in improv. Sometimes you don't even need to be on a stage for it to benefit you.
Oh yeah, it's great. I love lying to people.
But
like yourself.
Yeah. Well, the best lie is one that you can tell everyone.
Joe's been lying to himself for years.
No, I will someday find a lady who wants to make love to me.
We've never denied that, man.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. But, she's not going to just materialize out of thin air.
No, I'm going to conjure her.
Well.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Joe, what's your next story?
All right. So I used to be babysat in the YMCA. Have you guys ever heard of this program where basically
you ever heard of it?
YMCA?
You ever heard of the YMCA?
No. Have you ever heard of that? You can like basically do daycare at the Y.
Yes, Joe.
Okay.
What age range was this when you were being babysat at the Y?
Grades
5 to 15.
No, probably around 9 to 10.
Okay, so around 9 years old, your parents, they needed somebody to babysit you. And was your sister and brother also in this program?
Yes.
Okay.
Were you guys separated by?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
We would see each other, but.
All
So
right.
yeah, basically, there was this kid there I didn't really care for named Kevin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I don't even really remember what my issue with him was. But one day I decided to commit the ultimate heist on poor Kevin. So so basically we would all
the ultimate heist.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure what you're trying to say.
We would all bring our Pokemon decks in, like our cards and decks and stuff, to like play with them and trade with them. Like in between, like just whenever we weren't like swimming, we were basically just looking at Pokemon cards. So I knew that this boy Kevin had an ultimate shiny Blastoise, right? And so
Sure.
Yeah. So we were all like doing something. We were like playing dodgeball or like just in like that gymnasium for some reason. So I raised my hand and I said, "Hey, can I go to potty? Can I go use potty?" So I need to excuse myself to go make the bathroom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Make the
I don't
bathroom.
for a second think at 9 years old you raised your arm at the YMCA and said, "Can I go make potty?"
I don't know. Yeah. So like whenever basically after I got out of the hallway, I had a clean shot back to our rooms where all of our book bags are, right? And so I was able to unzip it, take out the Blastoise, and put it right in my pocket where it immediately got crushed.
So is that the story?
Yeah, oh yeah, I stole a poor child's Blastoise.
And what's the moral of the story? That you shouldn't steal or you shouldn't put it in your pocket and crush it?
Yeah, and make sure that you bring a top loader if you're going to steal people's cards.
Jesus.
Did this kid ever find out that you stole his card?
Oh, God, no.
So you never heard anything about, like, the next day there was no...
No,
like,
there was...
because...
Yeah.
I would think if the kid got home and he realized his card was gone at that age, he probably cried, and his parents, there might have been a thing. Like the parents came back the next day and said, "Hey, he claims,
He claims the Blastoise is missing."
But there was never any talk about it.
No, because like we all had a bunch of cards, so it would probably take a bit to notice that one was missing.
Well, how did you find it so quickly? If you went back to, what was the time frame?
You riffle through it real quick, and then you see the blue card.
You riffle through it.
Yeah, no, riffle
Rifle.
No, riffle shuffling is a thing in Magic.
Shut up.
It is.
God, there's
Even if
always
it
a
was.
reason.
Even if it was, that's not what you were doing. You weren't doing any riffle shuffling
Okay.
at 9 years old. Sweaty Joe Buckley with toilet paper hanging out his ass, probably.
No, I did not go to the bathroom. I made an excuse to go to the bathroom.
I don't think, all right, I'm not going to make my vote on which story, but man, I don't know.
No.
That one was pretty rough, Ryan.
No, listen, here's what you do. You just quickly look through the cards and you look for the shinies, and then once you see Blastoise, it's yours.
Well, then, whatever.
Okay.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Okay,
we'll
that's
get to
fine.
that. I got my final story.
Okay.
All right. So a couple of years ago, I was doing a play called The Rainmaker, and it's a play that was set in the 30s, Depression era, in the West. So it's about a family of farmers, and they're dealing with a drought. They're dealing with losing money, and I played one of the sons. I played the youngest son, the silly son. And because it was a play set in that time period, we had time period appropriate costume. So we had these, rough, like dungaree pants, these.
Like a cowboy hat.
Yeah, I did. I had cowboy hats, cowboy boots,
Six-shooter.
that whole thing.
You drug a horse up on the stage.
Yeah, so yeah, we had live horses. We had the budget to bring in a live horse and the means to bring in a live horse onto that stage.
Well, it wasn't a horse. It was more like a large dog that they dressed up like a horse.
They wouldn't even have a budget for a dog.
Okay.
But anyway, so I just needed to set the idea of what this play was about. So the way the play opened, my character, all of us came on stage and it was like morning, and right away we're eating breakfast, and we have a bunch of dialogue as we're eating, and the scene, and then breakfast ends, and then the daughter character comes in, and it's a long dialogue family scene. And so I start the scene, I come to the table, and it's breakfast. So we had real eggs and we had real toast. And my character was in the script was eating very fast, very rapidly, eating like a pig, eats a lot of food. So I was given a lot of scrambled eggs, and it was real scrambled eggs. They were cooked off stage about half hour before we went on.
Well, that might have been the issue there.
Well, they were runny and cold, and I like eggs, but they weren't particularly good. And it was opening night, and it doesn't matter whether it's a big show, a small show. I always have nerves on opening night. You're nervous. 9 times out of 10, if you're going to fuck up on stage, it's going to happen on opening night. And so I had my normal nerves that night, and I hadn't eaten anything for most of the day. I did do a shot of whiskey backstage because that was sort of tradition. So I'd done a shot of whiskey. I had nervous stomach. I think I drank some soda, and here I am on stage, scarfing down old, cold, runny, scrambled eggs. So I get done with my dialogue scene. The rest of the scene progresses. And at this point, my character is sitting in a chair, kind of listening to what's going on and thumbing through a magazine. And as the scene is going on and the scene's going great, I'm sitting there and I start to feel my stomach is doing some stuff.
Oh, you got the bubblies.
And it goes right from my normal stomach down to my intestines very quickly. And I realize, as soon as this scene gets over, I'm going to have to make a beeline to the bathroom, which luckily I was going to have some time before my next entrance after the scene was over. But as the scene is going on that I'm sitting there for, it's getting more and more dire. The situation is getting rougher.
Yeah.
And at one point I thought, well, maybe, and there's some gas building up. And I thought, well, maybe I can sneak one.
No, don't do it, Ryan.
It's happened on stage before. Everybody does it.
No, it's fine to fart, but you might shart instead. That would be a whore. Yeah.
Well, you're right. You're right. I shit my pants. Okay. As I'm sitting in this chair on stage, I shit my pants. Now, I don't know if I shit a lot. I don't know if I shit a little, but I shit enough that I could feel it. And I immediately am concerned for many reasons. One, I'm on stage. When I make my entrance, what if, I don't know how much had happened. I don't know if it'd come out of the clothing. I don't know if it was on the chair. I didn't know what the situation was. And so I'm sitting here and I didn't know. As far as I knew, I was going to stand up and it was going to run down my leg. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you have to understand, this pair of jeans is the only pair of jeans for the show. It's a costume. If I shit through the pant, I'm going to have to absolutely everyone's going to know about it backstage. I'm going to have to they're going to have to find another pair that look like that real quickly from the prop closet or for the costume closet. I mean, this is all running through my head. And luckily I didn't have any lines during this bit. But I'm staring at this magazine thinking, Jesus Christ, what am I going to do? So the scene ends and my character gets up and I remember I glanced down at the seat, nothing on the seat. Whew. All right. Passed the first test. So I'm like, okay, it can't be super bad because it hadn't leaked through the pants onto the seat. And so the scene ends. I get backstage. I run to the bathroom. Luckily, it wasn't so bad that it had gone through my underwear, but I had to get rid of the drawers. So I spent the rest of the show commando style with these itchy, rough, terrible, old school Lee jeans on doing the rest of the show. And I threw the drawers away and I didn't tell anybody about it backstage. And as far as I know, nobody knew about it.
Yeah, the perfect crime.
Yeah, so I got away with it. But those fucking eggs, I made sure for the rest of the run of the show to have plenty of food or Imodium in my system before I ate all those cold ass runny eggs for the rest of the play.
Why couldn't they just cook them in the reasonable time?
Well, they kind of did, but I mean, eggs get cold really quick. They can't have them frying back there because at the beginning of the play, the main actor is in the concept is in is making the food. Like it's in a kitchen.
Yeah.
And so he's got to already have them on stage because we have to see him dump the eggs onto the plate. And then my character comes down and talks for a bit, and then we go to the table and start eating. So there's really no way to make those eggs.
Yeah,
Well, Joe would have been like Edward Norton in
Birdman.
Birdman and just be screaming, "These eggs are fucking cold!"
Yeah.
I
God damn it, Margaret! Why don't you cook them faster?
It's one of my favorite movies. I love Birdman.
It's good. Yeah. Birdman's good.
I love that you were about to say Birdemic first.
Well, we did the Malevolent movies. I got Birdemic on the mind.
I never would have thought that you would even know what that movie is because you hate movies like that so much.
Yeah. I know a Birdemic.
Okay. Well, yeah, because Birdemic's probably been a punchline in some of your forums.
Yeah, well.
You know what I mean? It's one of those bad movies that people name drop, even if they haven't seen it.
Yeah. I think I did watch Birdemic before, and it was very bad.
Wasn't there a sequel?
Yeah, I believe so, yes.
Yeah, the director tried to capitalize on it, but it just, once they're self-aware, you can't do it.
Yeah. You can't pull a Sharknado on that.
Yeah.
Well, no, there's 7 of those cocksuckers.
Yeah, I know that, but those movies know what they're doing.
You better watch your mouth.
Huh?
Zach loves Sharknado.
Oh yeah, Zach. Yeah, Zach loves those. But I think even Zach knows that these aren't really cult films. Like they're, you know what I mean. It's not like the kind of stuff we watch on Malevolent movies. These things are made to be silly and over the top.
Yeah,
it's like the Machete
shitty
films.
Yeah, but Machete's decent. I mean, Sharknado is just shitty.
Yeah, but you have to understand that the weird stuff and the stylistic choices that are in Machete are based on real movies that had a questionable.
Well, yeah, the Grindhouse era.
Yeah,
it's more of a satire or what would you call it?
Well, Machete's a homage to the
homage.
Yeah, they're not like real. I wouldn't, they're not even real movies. They're more like just elongated sketches.
Yeah,
and which is what it was. I mean, it was just
a trailer. Yeah.
So I mean, not to say I don't like it, but I mean, I don't consider them like real movies.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I'm interested in Hobo with a Shotgun.
I love Hobo with a Shotgun, and I saw that at Dollar Tree for $1 about a month ago.
Maybe I'll have to poke in, get myself a Blu-ray, get myself a large 2-liter of cherry soda, cherry flavored generic for $1.
Yeah. Drink it on the way home, get so sleepy that you don't watch the movie, and then forget about it.
Yep.
I will pop the disc in, I will rip the movie to my Plex server, and then leave it up for 3 people to maybe see.
Well, yeah, your Plex server never operates good enough for me to watch anything. I start watching it, I'm like, okay, there's the circle again, and then 2 seconds in, there's the circle again, and then
It's too bad. Yeah, it's too bad you guys can't watch it. No, it doesn't work for Trevor, Tyler, or you, but it works for Tad, John, and Duncan.
Well, maybe their internet is so slow that it's like it just automatically goes down to like 52 kilobytes of quality.
Yeah, they don't know this. Their internet's so slow they think that's just normal.
I mean, it very well could be true.
Maybe.
I like hearing that Joe has some other friends. I haven't heard these names before. Maybe John, but I don't think I've heard the other guys.
Yeah, Duncan.
Yeah, well, it's more of the man with no brain. He's got other friends, guys. There's other people out there in his circle.
There is still hope for you, Joe.
Yeah. You mean I don't have to live in a cage?
Well, you choose to live in that cage.
No, I wasn't talking about my basement. I was talking about a dog cage. I'm moving up. I'm moving out.
To be somebody's gimp, is that what I'm hearing?
Well, no. There's a cool dog cage in like Grand Ridge, and nobody uses it, and there's a dog in it, so I figure I can just set up shop rent free.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the lie.
Yeah, like Joe could handle that sort of lifestyle. Joe was more of a princess than anybody I think I know when it comes down to it.
Very true.
You are so particular and you're so picky and you don't budge on what you like and what you love, and you are the ultimate high maintenance.
Yeah. It's a little known fact. It's a little known fact, but every single episode before we record, I demand a bowl of only green M&Ms.
Well, no, but what I mean is anytime
did you watch Wayne's World 2 recently?
No, I know that's just like a little fact that someone did that.
Van Halen did it with brown M&Ms, and the reason was because they were using that as a test to make sure that the venues were paying actual attention to their riders, because there's very important things in their contract riders that involve safety of the crew, safety of making sure things were grounded. And so to read the fine print, they put silly shit in there, like we want a bowl of brown M&Ms, meaning to them, if we get in the green room and there are no brown M&Ms, we know they didn't read the fine print. So what other shit did they not do?
Yeah.
That's the story behind the Van Halen brown M&Ms bit.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
That makes sense. Yeah.
All right. So 2 truths and a lie. I'm going to go first, Joe.
Okay.
As far as guessing, and my guess is that lie is the story about you stealing that kid's card.
Well, you go into it. Let's understand why.
And the reason I feel that that's a lie is because Joe Buckley at 9 years old, I'm sure you were not a perfect child, but like we learned in the episode about being in trouble, your troublemaking was confined to you picking on your brother and maybe your sister, normal child habits. It wasn't until you got older that you were shoplifting those games from Walmart. So I don't believe that 9-year-old Joe Buckley would think to himself, I'm going to steal this kid's card. I'm sure you were at the YMCA. I'm sure the kid had this card. And I'm sure you might have thought, oh, it'd be cool if I could get that card. But I don't think for a second you devised this Mission Impossible-esque plan where you pretended to go use potty and then double backed and just went to his bag, riffled through it, as you said, and found the card and then shoved it, broke it up in your pocket. I feel that even if you had stolen it, you would have taken care of it. You wouldn't have shoved it just in your pocket and crumpled it. So these are my reasons.
Yeah. What were the other 2, Joe?
Well, the other 2 was me and Tad, fun day at the park, baby's day out.
Fuck off.
And then the second story was Boy Scout pee-pee hurt.
No, it was you getting Lyme disease from the tick.
Yes, but near the pee-pee area.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm taking away from this. I'm taking away from the story that you got Lyme disease.
Yes.
That the pee-pee part doesn't matter to me.
Okay.
And because of that, and because I don't know if I've heard you mention, I just feel that would have been my initial guess that was fake. But there's something about it that I'm like, combined with your stealing the card at 9 years old at the YMCA. That's why I got to go with the stealing of the card YMCA.
Okay.
And the thing with you and Tad was so uneventful, it seemed like it would probably happen. It seemed like it wasn't fun or exciting. And so it feels like that probably could have happened. You guys went to the park one night and messed around and,
This is tough. This is tough because I agree with Ryan on the middle one because it's almost too simple for Joe to make that up.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of leaning towards the Lyme's disease tick bite because there was something about the way Joe said. So you remember how I've told you guys about I was a Boy Scout, right? That to me was almost like the lead in, like, hey, I've established this thing before, so that's why you got to believe me. So there's something about that I'm going to go with that one. I'm going to go with that one.
Okay, answer's locked in.
Yes, yeah. My answer's locked in.
Okay, yep, no, you're both wrong.
What the fuck?
Yeah, the story I made up was the one with me and Tad swinging on the big swings.
Jesus.
God damn it. I mean, maybe now in retrospect of 5 seconds thinking about it, Joe as a creative entity isn't always that strong. So the story he made up would be the one with the least details.
Well, no. With that, I basically wanted to ground it in reality.
So you did? Okay. So you did steal a card from a kid.
I stole that poor boy's card and I accidentally damaged it in my pocket.
We are learning more and more about how horrible you were from the jump. We said that we've taken upon ourselves that we've kind of aided and abetted in you turning into a lump of shit through our laughing at your inappropriate stuff. But now I'm realizing it's not all our fault. There has always been a sour kernel growing within you, Buckley.
Yeah, I'm a master thief. I know it.
Oh, fuck off.
But you destroyed the card. What'd you do with the card when you got home with the crinkled card?
I put it in with my cards. Because even if it's damaged,
have any of them?
No, my Pokemon cards are long lost, unfortunately.
And did you continue to know this kid at daycare?
Yeah, oh yeah.
And you never were you nice to him? Were you friends?
No,
I still didn't like him.
Yeah, I didn't like him to begin with.
Why didn't you like him? Did you say?
I don't really remember. He was just kind of. He was like yeah.
You're so mad.
Yeah, you're meh. You're too meh
You
to
piece of
have
shit.
cards.
Because
You're
I'd
too
like
meh.
to know. I'd like to know what this kid did to upset the 9-year-old Buckley. Why he didn't muster in the 9-year-old Buckley's eyes.
I think he just wasn't that nice to me.
Well, he's a hero to me. Hopefully, I
Okay.
can find this kid. I'm going to go on eBay and buy that card. He might not even realize it. But I'm going to say you were owed this.
Okay, that's fine. You can't press charges. The date's passed, so I'm golden.
Well, regardless, whatever.
Okay.
Fuck you, Joe. Fuck you,
Why?
Joe.
Why? The
I
child...
thought for certain I'd be able to pick out your lie
Okay. Yeah.
before
no.
we start recording this. Damn it.
Okay.
Okay, Joe, the story about Tad, when did you come up with that?
Today.
Okay. Because I'm almost curious because we were giving you shit about Tad earlier on. If you just suddenly switched it and like, fuck it. I'm going to go in on Tad because they'll buy anything with me and Tad.
No. I came up with that today before I got here.
Okay. Well, Joe.
Was there?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Ryan.
I mean, was there any kernel of truth in that story at all? Have you and Tad ever gone to a playground?
No, not a playground. We sometimes just like walk along. Like sometimes we have to walk the dog Reese's because he looks like a Reese's peanut butter cup because he's like,
Okay.
yeah, he's like a
At
chocolate
first,
lab.
I had no idea what you just said, but okay. It's the dog's name.
Yeah, the dog's name is Reese's.
Okay.
Yeah, so we sometimes have to take him for a walk, and so we'll sometimes pass by a park or two.
I wish I could drive down the street of Grand Ridge and see you and Tad, couple of loving cousins, couple of just family enjoying the night air, going for a dog walk.
What would be wrong with that? Yeah, that sounds beautiful. If the whole country could be like that, wouldn't that be grand?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's hit puberty.
Okay, so let me see with Ryan's stories.
Yeah, Ryan, why don't you run us through them real quick?
Yeah.
All right. So the first story was a friend of mine at a party, unbeknownst to him, ate cockroaches that were hidden in some salsa. The second story was when my ex-girlfriend and I were checking out an old barn deep into Iowa, and we were confronted by a couple of guys with guns. And then the third story is when I shit my pants on stage during the Rainmaker play, the Rainmaker, a couple of years ago.
All right, so I do think the duty in the boxers is a true story. I think you threw it away in the garbage can in the bathroom, or
in the dressing room. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just rolled them up.
okay. Because I was gonna say the smell would be bad, but you could probably get away with it, like saying, "Oh, maybe some food went off." Maybe you could like rationalize it like that.
Well, they
Some
empty the
food went
garbages, I
off?
think,
Yeah.
every night. Yeah, they empty the garbage. I think they have a service that comes in.
Okay, that's good. And I think that the barn story is also probably real. Because it just kind of sounds like something people might get into, just kind of cruising in a lonely, dirty town. Like the barn might be like the only thing to look at in like a place. So I could see
Well,
it
it
being.
wasn't in the town. It was way out.
Yeah.
You know.
I could see that being like almost a big tourist attraction for the rednecks, and they have to go protect their property because the barn is also like their wife at this point.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, Joe.
Yeah, they got the stockiest wife in Iowa, and that's a prestigious award to win. That's hard. So I'm gonna say that I don't believe that a human being can be so cruel to another human being that they would feed them bugs without their knowledge. I'm gonna say that was made up.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I know I was wrong the first time with my theory on Joe trying to establish past history, but I'm going to do it again. I'm going to double down on it, and I'm going to go with the barn story because Ryan does have the gift of gab. I fully believe that story, but it's because I know that Ryan has the gift of gab. Ryan knows he's got the gift of gab. I'm going to have to go for that one.
All right. So you believe the barn story was false, and Joe believes that the cockroach story was false.
Yes.
You're both wrong.
What the fuck?
You're both wrong. The cockroach story did happen, and
Okay.
the barn story also did happen, but the Rainmaker story, everything about that story was true except for the pants shit.
No
So
duty.
I did do that play. I had to eat eggs. They were always gross and runny, but at no point did I shit my pants during the show.
Okay. Well, see, that's how you tell a convention story. You just kind of tell a story with a kernel of falsehood in it, but otherwise
Well,
true.
that's
So this is
that's the
Very
storytelling.
interesting. I guess we got to do this again because
Oh, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that when we decided to do this. I got real excited.
Yeah,
Because there's so much to pull from,
very interesting. I didn't think it would be both would go wrong. So
Yeah. So I guess we're just really trusting of each other. We believe.
Oh yeah. I'm so trusting. Yeah, yeah.
shut up.
No, I am.
I trust my buddies.
I do.
Yeah. I trust you, Joe. I do to a certain extent. I always know what to expect from Joe. I trust there's certain things I'm always going to get from Joe.
Diarrhea of the mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Diarrhea of the mouth, diarrhea of the butt.
Love the shouting. Yeah.
We learned that. Well, we also learned from the man with no brain today that Joe has no problem being a thief, and that he had Lyme disease. Now, have you ever after that? Did you have a fear of ticks?
No, not really. What are you gonna do about them?
Well, you can avoid. There's things you can do to try not get ticks on you. Clothing items, etc. Sprays. Bug sprays you could use on yourself.
You're big on not getting wet and stuff, so I could see it being the same with bugs, just not wanting to be involved with them.
No, I mean I had too much fun with the fires in Boy Scout. I couldn't give that up because of ticks.
What? So wait, when did you end your tenure with the Boy Scouts?
Basically, whenever my dad got too involved and ruined it.
What do you mean ruined it?
He was just hanging around, being involved.
Well, hold on a second. Did he have to get involved?
No, he didn't. No, he volunteered as a parent.
Because you kept trying to convince the other boys that, no, it's cool to get ticks on your dick.
No.
It's cool. It's cool to get Lyme's disease.
No. Absolutely not. No, and I had a perfect little place in the woods where I could run amok and start fires, and then my dad had to ruin it.
So your dad just wanted to be involved in Boy Scouts.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Your poor father just wanted to watch his boy grow up.
Yeah, he just wanted to be involved in something. Was he in the Boy Scouts as a kid?
Could have been, but I don't believe so.
Well, regardless, he wanted to be involved in your life, Joe. And we've seen this. This has been a common theme that we've talked about. Your dad has been involved. He brought pizza, and he's been involved with the sets, and
he's the one that got you involved with us, right?
Yeah.
He told me about the ad, but I think I might have seen something about it too.
Yeah, but after he talked to you is when you actually moved on it.
Yeah.
And he's the one who dropped you off all those times.
Oh yeah.
And he's the one who's picked you up about. I don't know how many times we've been at Tyler's doing something, and you've had to get on your phone, and you've called your dad, and it might be 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and the guy's got to get up and go to work, and he's going to get a call from his grown adult son to come drive 20 minutes and pick him up, and never wants to hear him sound irritated or aggravated.
Yeah,
he was always like, okay, Joe, I'll be there in 20 minutes.
Well, I think he was just happy that I had friends.
Well, he just wanted to be involved in your life.
Yeah.
And you blame him for ruining Boy Scouts.
Well, yeah, because I can no longer spray aerosols into the fire.
Who was the scout leader that was letting this big old boy do this idiotic shit?
I don't know. A good one. The best Boy Scout leader.
Too busy in the background with some of the other boys.
No, he never molested us. That was the best thing about him. He let us piss on the fire, and just.
Well, yeah, because he wanted to see the peepees.
I don't believe so. No. I think because. I think because he was teaching us how to prevent snake bites, because we show our snake to the rattlesnake and it scares it away.
Okay. Well, there you have it, everybody. Big episode 2.0 of The Man with No Brain. Hopefully you learned a little bit more about Mr. Buckley today with two truths and a lie. And I like this topic. We'll have to revisit it again.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot to mine in it. And plus, I wanted a second chance at besting you, Buckley. As always, make sure you check out our other channel, Malevolent Movies, and like it and subscribe to it. And share the content to your friends and family if you like it. Holidays will be coming up soon. Perfect chance for you to introduce your family sitting around the fire, eating some old turkey about The Man with No Brain.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what? Since holidays are coming up soon, now's the perfect chance to get a T-shirt from Threadless. We got hoodies. We got pajama bottoms, I bet.
Yeah, imagine giving a gift to somebody that you care about. They sit down, they open it up, and boom, there's Buckley's face staring right at him.
Yeah,
what a perfect Yuletide gift.
Yeah, I love you, Grandma. Yeah, you're my grandma now.
And if we're serious, and we'll probably hit on this as time goes on, but anybody that does purchase any of these things, I would love to see a picture of you wearing it or whoever you bought it for wearing it. I think that'd be so. If you do it, let us know and send a picture. We won't post it or nothing. We just want to see it for ourselves because that's cool.
Yeah, I like looking at people.
Yeah, Joe needs some baiting material.
Listen. If you are a fan of our content, I would be honored to masturbate to pictures of you. Honored.
Okay.
I think that's a beautiful thing.
Do we have a lawyer for this? Does this show have a legal representation for some reason?
I'm a priest. That's the best I can give you.
Shut up. Jesus Christ, this priest bullshit.
No, it's not bullshit. I am.
I'm priest. I like Big Lebowski.
I am. I'm a dudism. I'm a dudism.
God,
I'm surprised you like The Big Lebowski.
No, I do. It's a good comedy. Yeah, it's a good stoner comedy. It's probably the only watchable one.
I wouldn't even call it a stoner comedy.
Yeah, I wouldn't at all. It's more of like a hard-boiled crime fiction type of
but
thing.
with
just
a stoner
updated
as the main character.
That doesn't make it a stoner comedy.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah, the movie's not about weed.
No. It's basically about somebody who's burnt out from just doing 20 years of weed.
You know, the story is very intricate, but you're drop this character in the middle of the story, and that's where the fun lies, is seeing him with his brain navigate this very complicated, dangerous world, and then all of his weirdo friends. I mean, it's even as much, it's a character study as well.
Yeah.
You've got this, running subplots that have nothing to do with what's going on, like Jesus. And that's Coen Brothers for you, man.
Yeah. I got to go see it in theaters.
I know you did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw it in theaters first run, and nobody was there.
Well, it did flop pretty hard.
Yeah,
but that's okay.
It was coming off of Fargo. It was coming off of their big Oscar win, and it was like at the time it was like the most disappointing movie ever. If you ask any critics, everyone's like, I can't believe this is what they followed up Fargo with, and I remember thinking it was fantastic and hilarious. And so I've always loved seeing how it's become this respected movie over the years.
Yeah,
because at the time, man, nobody. It was just like everybody seemed to hate it.
And then when it hit the internet, Joe suddenly realized, I like this movie too.
Yeah, I can make a religion based off it. I'm like a cult member, and one day I want to be a cult leader.
And what will the slogan of your cult be?
I don't know. Thrill 'em, kill 'em. Joe Buck cult.
See, I'm on the mound. I wound up. I threw you the pitch. That was your opportunity to reference your pee-pee hurting or beba or any of your dumb catchphrases. I set you up, Buckley, and you dropped the ball. Dropped it.
I didn't realize you wanted me to scream. Ow, my pee-pee. Oh, my pee-pee hurts. Ow.